back in the carport after taking over the kitchen to finish up that cable. It started to rain and it was raining bad, pouring into here. But that has been over a week now, because once I got that finished up, I was able to take it out and test drive it, which I did in the pouring rain, so I didn't film it. But after that, I managed to make both me and the engine sick. I don't think it was due to riding in the rain, but I'm sure it didn't help. I'm getting over the flu, so I'm finally back at it today, and the engine has a high idle, so I'm gonna have to figure that out before we can legitimately ride it. But before I do that, I'm gonna actually finish it, because without anywhere to put my feet, other than this, which doesn't really work very well, but without anywhere to really push my feet into, the back of the drift trike just wanted to be the front of the drift trike, which left me kind of like a rag doll flopping around. So I need somewhere sturdy to put my feet, and I've got just the 2 bits to do that. So I need to drill a few holes, weld those in place, and put some sort of pegs on there to hold my feet on. So I'm gonna get to it. Well, it isn't quite where I wanted it to be. The marks that I made, I ended up going below them because I improvised a piece of metal I thought would be a bit stronger, but because it was so long, it bent and caused it to go down a bit. But I'm gonna make this work. It's not hitting the wheel, at least in the opposite direction. It just kind of rubs on it a little bit. And then in this direction it does contact it, but that is also with the handlebars right where your stomach would be, so I don't really think I'm going to turn that far, but I don't know. So what I'm thinking, I might try and bend this out just a bit. I'm going to go ahead and get the other one done and see how different they look, because more than likely it's not going to end up doing the same thing as it did on this side. I've got them sitting in there. They're not all the way through the back holes, but I got it enough to where you can turn it all the way in and not touch. I think that's kind of what I want to go for, instead of trying to figure out how to get them bent perfectly to be the same on both sides. I'm just going to take some time with the Dremel and make the back holes a little bit bigger, enough to where I can kind of adjust them by this, get them close to being about the same. I'm not really worried about them being perfectly the same. Most of the frame isn't perfectly the same anyway, so I'm all right with that. But I do want to get them to where they at least feel about the same and sit kind of the same. Even now they're still a little bit off from each other, but once I do that, they'll be able to come through the back side but still be at this angle, and then all I have to do is make some supports for the feet. So I'm just gonna spend the next probably couple hours, hopefully not that long, but a little while, just taking some material out of the back. I've come up with a solution. Instead of using the longer bar that makes contact and is okay that way, made a shorter bar by quite a bit, and put that one through both ends, and it doesn't turn enough to contact it at all. I modified the pedals from the bicycle in order to slide into here. To use as footrest. So that way they turn a little bit, which would be nice, and still no contact with those. And of course, when your foot is on there, it's possible that it could come close this way, but I mean, that's turned pretty extremely. So of course the only downside is how high the knee is, but I don't think that'll be a big problem. It does give enough room to turn, so it doesn't really seem to get in the way unless somebody with longer legs than me rides it. And I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna get this one tack welded up, and then we'll get the other one slid in there and match it up as best as possible. With the darkness closing in quickly, it's time to end, but tomorrow we ride. Thanks for watching.